Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 8 of the Stay at Home Son podcast. And today we have a very special guest on the show. We have Mr. Guile Branco, the director of Halloween Feast, which is an amazing and really interesting to be film. And I can't wait to talk to him about it. So, Guile, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here on a Sunday between Christmas and New Year's Eve. How special is that?
Yeah, it's always that weird time of year where it's like you're trying to figure out, is it the New Year? Is it still Christmas hangover? So it's always a weird time for sure.
I know, and we're going to be talking about a Halloween movie during kind of Christmas. But you know what? In this process, I found out that the horror community, everybody just watches horror movies anytime. I mean, I remember we launched the movie about a year ago, and the real momentum, we started getting in the summer, and people told me it's called Summerween, and I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. It's called Summerween. It's when people are so obsessed about Halloween movies, they'll just like, okay, it's summer. Let's watch Halloween movies, and that was a big push for us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I know for a fact that I watched way more horror movies this Christmas than I probably should have. So I know exactly Halloween, all
Honestly, I
that.
feel like so much happens in the movie. You can just watch it like anytime. It's not just strictly Halloween.
Yeah.
But I
Well,
do
that,
like the Halloween twist at the end.
I'll tell you one thing that's very interesting. Some people get upset because it's not Halloween all the time in this movie, in the Halloween Feast, but I'll explain to you why. And there is a reason. The original title of this movie was A Prodigal Feast.
hmm.
And basically, Halloween wasn't supposed to be a focus during the whole film. The film was supposed to be, it's a countdown, okay, towards Halloween, and you have the climax during Halloween. But the movie was never supposed to be only solely about Halloween. So when the movie was acquired by the distributor, it's called Breaking Glass Pictures, and they acquired our film for worldwide rights. They asked me, "Would you consider changing the title?" Because their reasoning was people don't know what the word prodigal meant. It's kind of a funny word, and then it was changed to a Halloween feast. But I'll tell you, this is something. It's a real thing. People sometimes they go like, I like the movie, but I'm just upset that it's not always Halloween. It's not more Halloween in the movie. So
Yeah. Well, I kind of like that about the film because it almost plays like a dramedy meets like horror with that. Like I liked it though because it's funny, it has good character development, but it almost feels like you're solving a case, like solving a mystery than it is like just scares. But I enjoyed that about it because it made it just an interesting watch experience, you know?
it's a little bit of a puzzle, anthology type. Like you have different stories that. It's definitely a movie. I tell people, don't be on your phones. Try to pay attention because if you lose something, you may not understand how things come together. Because the screenplay is written in a way that we want all the stories to converge, and basically like, okay, how is this going to end on Halloween? That's kind of like what I want the audience to be thinking, and the truth is, it's on the title. Everybody knows there will be a feast in the end. I think the fun thing about my movie, I think it's how you get there. And I just think I want people to just be guessing and trying to put the piece of the puzzle together towards the end. And some of the reviews I really like is when people say I had no idea where it was going. I love that.
Yeah, I'm definitely in that category because I was like, wow, this is all over the place. It definitely keeps you on your toes for sure, but
Yes,
it was
yes.
it was a very enjoyable to watch, and it's honestly the type of film you want to watch again too because there's so little things
Thank
you
you.
miss after it. So it's really good.
Yeah, we had several theater screenings. We had 3 days theatrical in Beverly Hills last year. Then we did some festivals, and some people came back, and some people said, "Oh my God, I noticed new things," and it's like you can peel that onion. You can go into some psychology. You can go into some like why is this happening, and try to find out a reason. Like on purpose, I didn't want to explain too much, but that's just a route I took as a writer and director. I feel like a lot of people they like to be spoon fed. What I mean is people like, so why did she go crazy? And I can say, it could be many reasons. Some people, this is a line in the voiceover in the beginning of the movie, which says some people are just crazy. And the whole nihilistic approach that I bring into the film. And by the way, I'll tell you guys, I don't care about spoilers. We can talk about anything.
Cool.
Like at this point, the movie's out. It's not like we're guarding any big secret of like, oh my God, we can tell the plot. I'm okay with if you guys wanna discuss any of the plot twists. But basically, that's how I feel about it. I feel like it's a movie that it's not gonna please everyone. It's not for everyone. It's for that niche audience. And it's a goofy horror comedy. That's it.
Yeah, like I
I
like that though about that though. It's like that horror and comedy elements combined because I feel like it works very well together and it doesn't seem like it's too overdone with the comedy because it still feels like the comedy's pushing the story forward, which is something that I really liked about it.
And I feel like it is a hard thing to do. I mean, when you're trying to add comedy to a horror film, I mean, I feel like yes, definitely some people say not all jokes land, and that's in every film, every comedy. Is just it will please some people and not other people. So it's funny to me, and I love it. I love to see what people retain from the movie. I always when we have a screening when I have friends or random people who watch the film and they interact with me, I'm always curious of what is, and it's very different. People they focus on different parts of the film, and I love that. Some people think Grandma is hilarious. Some people think, Pancho, the small guy, is. It's just a lot of elements that I'm always intrigued. So I'm going to ask you guys, what are the scenes, the characters that stood out for you? Because it's for me as a writer director, I love to hear that.
Yeah,
I
well,
think definitely the mother for me, for the both of us, right?
yeah, I would say
Lynn
the
Lowry.
mother. I would also say Poncho, the little dude being the villain, was definitely pretty interesting. It
That
definitely
was he was funny.
it definitely cracked me up. Talk about subversion of expectations. That definitely had me rolling when I saw him coming on as kind of being the antagonist of the story. So that was pretty fun.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something that is kind of a. It's not really a secret anymore because I've talked about it before, but I had a co-writer for about a year, long time ago, and we worked on the script, uh, and I've been writing this for over 10 years, so this was a small sliver of time in which he came on, and I was just like, okay, let's try to make it better, and he was somebody who liked the real insane stuff and the idea of my character being the brother came from him. And I thought was too heavy.
Yeah.
So I wrote an alternate scene in which everybody thinks I'm the brother, and then it comes out that I was adopted. So we filmed both versions, and my editor, the great Ryan Kelly, I gotta tell you, he edited the film. He did color, some special effects, and he's was a true partner and investor in the movie. He watched both versions and he was like, "Gil, you need to go insane. We gotta go with the brother twist." And I'm like, "Sure, I'll trust you." But
Yeah,
but
it's funny how sometimes films kind of come alive. Like you go in thinking it'll be one thing, and then when you're like filming it, you're like, oh wait, let's go take this turn. So sometimes you have that improv while you're going. That's always a lot of fun.
absolutely, and but I'm telling you, I was actually afraid of some things and themes we had in the movie. People often come to me and say, "You wrote this? Are you mentally ill?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, maybe I am." You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
I mean,
But
the part where she had to eat her own finger, he had to eat his own finger was kind of crazy. But
that's what I'm saying.
it
People say
locks you
like,
in
"Well,"
though.
people go like, "Where does ideas come from?" I mean, I'm like, "Well, I'm a very creative person," but at the same time, like, I wanted to write a film that people wouldn't forget, and that people would have those images and be like, "Oh my God, that was insane." You know what I mean? Um, it's before we settled on the title, the previous title, which was A Prodigal Feast. Early on, this is 10 years ago. The title was WTF. I'm not joking. Like what the fuck? Because basically, this movie was written in a way that I wanted people just keep watching, being like, "Oh, what the heck? What the fuck?" I'm using the F word, but you can beat me out if you want.
It's fine. We cuss all the time on here. You're good to
So
go.
but you see, that's what I'm saying. In the writing process, it was kind of like that. I want people to just go like WTF, like WTF, WTF all the way through, and I think we achieved it.
Yeah, it was. I think y'all achieved that very quickly on too. I think like Act One, I was already saying what the fuck. So
Yeah,
it was y'all did a great job. And I have a question just from a directing standpoint. You know,
please.
when
Yeah.
you have a film that's so genre bending and has all these different twists and turns, was it hard to direct that vision upon your actors? Because they all seemed very locked in with the cast. Was it hard to communicate that with them and get them to do that?
I'll tell you what, it was not. It was not hard. Like
Nice.
just as a side note, I am a director for this film, but I never thought I was going to be a director for this film. I'm mostly an actor writer, and I love acting writing. Um, I came to the point in which I decided to direct this because after a decade plus with the screenplay and trying to get it done, I really felt like I want my vision to be here. But I'm going to say something. Most of the cast, okay, almost everybody there you see as an actor are people I've known for 7, 8, 10 years. Lou D'Amato, who played the doctor, Roger, I've known him for 20 years, and he is the partner in my company, which is called Bright Night Entertainment. So I kind of shaped those characters to fit my actor friends.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
so I had a certain confidence because I know them. I know these people for so long, and when I tell people that, they say, "Oh no, that's not professional. You can't cast your friends. You get blinded." And I'm like, "You don't understand. Like, I've been acting with these people in short films and some feature films for sometimes over a decade. I know them. So when I'm shaping these characters like Dr. Roger Park for Lou and Nika playing the fiance, Julia who played Karen, I've known for about 7 years. Asia who played Goth Girl, I know her for about 7, 8 years. Um, I know they will deliver. So for me, the only thing I had to worry about as a director is, okay, this is the page. I want to make sure that the screenplay is solid from my point of view, and and um and and I would just tell them like this is what I want, and trust me, they gave me exactly what I wanted because I know them, because I know the characters, and I know the screenplay, um and I'm going to say something. As a director, people ask me about improvising, and I always say we always try to stick to the screenplay because imagine I really feel like the words on a screenplay are kind of sacred because in a way I've been writing for 10 years.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to just come and start improvising. However, there's one one exception. Pancho Moller. Pancho Moller is the gangster. Um, he is a master improviser. He's a stand-up comedian. He's also quite successful. I mean, he was in I think three Rob Zombie movies, 31, Three from Hell. Maybe there's one more. Stiletto. He was in a lot of genre horror films that did really well. So I let him do his thing. Uh, and it was hilarious because he would just like go off and go insane on his lines, and he would never say the same lines the second time the same. He would create and go crazy, and for him it worked. I mean, it made me extremely nervous. I mean, I gotta confess, it wasn't. It was a little stressful, but there's a Blu-ray version of this film coming out in March. Okay, and there's outtakes, and the outtakes with Pancho Moller, I think, are almost funnier than the movie.
Well, we'll definitely take note of that. Have to see
I
that.
think I think some people will watch those outtakes and say this is better than the movie.
Yeah, well, he has so much charisma on screen too. It's like right when he
Dude,
comes on from the first act he's in, you feel that force, that power behind his lines. So knowing that it's improv, I'm not surprised because it was like,
he's dude. I'll make sure to send you guys the copy of the Blu-ray when it's on, when it's out. But Pancho Moller is hilarious. I mean, the outtakes are some of the funniest shit I've ever seen. I put this on just for fun, a laugh. I put it on. He just keeps going, and he says outrageous stuff. It's so good. Um, And Pancho, yeah, I've known Pancho for, oh my God, 13, 14 years. I cast him in I think it was 2012. I was filming a television pilot that wasn't successful. It's called the Meltdown Pot. It's on YouTube. Anybody can see it if you go on YouTube. Meltdown Pot, and I cast him. I met him then, and he played a gay dwarf, and it was awesome, absolutely awesome. So going back to the casting, the only person that was cast that I had to just maybe worry about a little bit because it's somebody who's not in my inner circle of friends was Lynn Lowry, who played Angela, because we knew we needed kind of a famous somebody who is known by the horror fans. And Lynn Lowry, she's been working since the 70s. I mean, she worked with David Cronenberg in Shivers. She was in Crazies in the 70s, George Romero movie. She's very famous for those genre fans. So I was a little bit afraid, and she was amazing. When she came on, she was incredibly friendly and prepared, and she really saw the film as a great opportunity for her, because she's in her 70s and she works a lot, but because she is quite famous and people can't afford to pay her a lot of money, obviously she's in a lot of low budget films. She's always playing like a cameo. They have a feature film and they just put her there as a cameo. But so when she saw that A Halloween Feast was a film in which she was the lead part, it was a big commitment. Talking about, we were filming for a month. It was 19 days in a month. She took that and she was like, I want that role because this is something different. It's a big role, and she was just absolutely phenomenal as a person, as a friend, as an actor, and I'm thankful that it went really well.
Yeah, well, it's cool because it kind of like you gave her an opportunity that she's been wanting, even though she's super successful and has all this success. This was kind of something that she's always wanted to challenge to do. So you, in a way, gave her that opportunity. So she was pretty grateful for that, and it showed off in the film.
Absolutely. I'll tell you another thing that's interesting. When I talked to her about this film, I had written a 1 day scene. I created a different character because I thought she maybe wouldn't want to commit for a month. I mean, she lives in Atlanta, we're shooting in Los Angeles, and it was kind of like maybe she doesn't want to come on and be here for a month. And also, we didn't have like a lot of money to pay her. It was maybe she would say like, "Oh yeah, I can't do a month for this much money." So the plan B was here. There's a scene we can do in 1 day. And I was very pleased that she actually accepted. She's like, "No, I am Angela." She actually did tell me, "I am Angela," and I was like, "Okay." so
Yeah.
so we're doing the whole 9 yards. Okay,
Well, so she believed in the role and really wanted to go and
it
do
did.
it. And it shows in the film for sure. And I would just say with that, when you were getting the funding for the film, was it hard to get funding for it? Did you get a lot of crowdfunding? Was it out of your own money? Was it like that? How'd you go about that?
I'll tell you. Funding the movie was the most stressful, the hardest part for me.
Right.
Because yes, once we had the resources and filming was easy. Trust me, you have a good team. As long as you have a good team, you're good. I
Yeah.
mean, you have good communication. Uh, like I hired the best assistant director I could find. Her name is Genevieve Cortez. She's Australian and she's amazing. And I told her, don't let me, in good English, fuck this up. And and so she was protecting my project, and we never had a fight. And so funding was hard because we set up a crowdfunding campaign, and I really wanted to raise $250,000, which was kind of like how much. In the end, that's the value of the film. I'll explain to you why. Um, so crowdfunding went awful. Even if like I started way before talking to people, I'm gonna say 3, 4 months out, I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have a crowdfunding, sending on, Facebook, social media, and it didn't work. So I was just hustling to get investors and talking to people, and it was very stressful because it's not fun to ask people for money.
Yeah, that's for
Okay,
sure.
especially when when the movie business, independent film everybody knows it's highly risky. It's not like, okay, you're going to make your money back plus 10-20%. Well, yeah, there's a huge chance you're not going to. It's just the reality of things. So any investor who knows film, they will be like, okay, this is dangerous, especially myself being a first time directing a feature film. um, so it was extremely hard, and we got in the end I found a few investors, but they only gave about 5 or 10K. So in the end we maybe got 50K out of investors, maybe 40 actually. And I knew I couldn't make the movie for that much. We needed more money. I mean,
Yeah.
the special effects alone cost us about 25K. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, no, I
So
can see that for sure.
I have a
yeah, yeah. So it was an uphill road. I had then my partner, who's in the company, he's just like, all right, let's. I'm gonna put some of my money in. I'm like, okay, and and then this is what happened. I had a company who was going to invest in the film, and they were gonna give me 35K. So that would start closing the gap. I felt like, we can probably shoot if we hit maybe $80,000. Uh, so this company just kept dragging and dragging and dragging. It's just like, yeah, I'll send you the check, and it wasn't happening to the point where I had to just give up and be like, these people are not going to give me the money. I'm just going to have to figure it out a way.
Right.
And then another person who said, I'm going to give you 35K, called me up and said, all right, I'm ready to give you money, 35K. I'm like, okay. And he said, okay, so you're going to pay me monthly with a 15% interest. And you're going to sign a document saying that if you don't pay me back, I can go into your bank account and clean you up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not.
And honestly, and I said no. So in the end, I had to use my own money. I mean, it was literally, I was fighting it to the end. I was just like, oh shit, basically I had to put all my savings into this film,
Wow.
100%. And so we ended up spending $100,000 to make it.
Wow.
Uh, 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 um, and the reason I say the movie is worth 250,000 is because a lot of people worked for free, and a lot of people worked on a deferred payment. Deferred payment means, like, let's say, okay, I owe you, 15,000, but you get the money if the movie is profitable and we reach that amount. So so when you add all those deferral contracts, then yeah, the only way we can break even is if we actually cover about $250,000. So that is the actual value of the film. And there's your answer, my friend. It was hard.
Yeah, and that seems to be an all too familiar story for independent film directors. It's just so
Yep.
hard to get money on crowdfunding and all that.
Yep.
But I do like that. I mean, sometimes you gotta use your own money and put your own skin in the game because at least you're lowering your risk that way because you don't gotta
Yep.
pay people back and they don't have access to your bank account.
And thank God I had it, because that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, I understand the filmmaker who, yeah, a project dies because they don't have 30K in their bank accounts. I mean, we're talking about, we're artists. I mean,
Right.
we're like, shit, man. I mean, people. I don't come from money. I don't come from a trust fund or anything like that. This is like hard work. So most filmmakers, I know a ton who had to abandon their project because they couldn't find the financing for the movie. So I'm thankful that I had that. It was hard. My wife was definitely not very happy. you know
So I got a
it,
couple questions for you, and I
sure.
think I want to go to the end of the movie
Mhm.
for this. So first, I kind of like how the movie you kind of like have like 4 or 5 separate plots with like between the therapist's life and the whole wife's family life, and I like how it comes like full circle at that dinner where pretty much like everybody kind of like gets off. So like, how much planning went into like that final like sit down Halloween dinner scene?
Oh man, I gotta tell you, that was probably the most complicated. So we needed time. And one thing I gotta say is, when you talk about independent film and low, this is low budget, man, low budget. you don't have the luxury of time. So when you have a scene with multiple characters in one location, you have to get coverage from each character to make the scene work. And we made a decision early on to have, for the most of the shoot, I'm going to say 90% of filming, we had two cameras simultaneously filming, so we could get two angles at the same time. So that saved us a lot of time because we could get, let's say, like a wide shot of everybody, and we could have a second camera as a close up on somebody. And then we would switch around and we would probably cut the time in half of shooting that scene. Um, so yeah, it was difficult because we really had to work on, having, let me see, five people, the father, Angela, and the three. So you talk about five people in one dinner scene. It is tricky. It is tricky, and it was basically rehearsing and blocking and going one step at a time. Uh, the one thing I can say that complicates things is that you never, when you are dealing with special effects, practical effects, like everything we did in the film, blood wise and things, everything was done in front of the camera. We did not wait for post, and there's no CGI. There's very little, almost nothing. So when you're adding those scenes in, like, I never had enough time. What I mean is, for example, we had a scene in the dinner in which somebody's head explodes. Man, that's half a day. I
Yeah.
mean, or a full day. I mean, really.
Tim's for one
So,
scene.
so then you're rushing because you're like, oh, you have all this dialogue between the characters. So you have to get those scenes kind of fast because I'm learning that, oh shit, we have to do this special effect. We have to do this head explosion or this blood squirting rig. We had our makeup artist, Ali Shihorn, amazing. She had these tubes and pumps and gallons of blood, and not only we have to do the blood scenes, but we have to clean, okay,
Yeah.
before we do another take, because, like, we're not using blood CGI. We're using real fake blood. So when you do a scene with blood, you can't just go back to one and film again. You have to clean first.
Yeah.
So so then you have the people coming in with, like, the mops. You know what I mean? Like we have a bunch of PAs with mops and Clorox wipes, and and spraying and cleaning the wall or the floor or something until we're able to shoot again. So you're constantly fighting with time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's crazy that that was all, none of that was CGI. I mean, it looks so real, and it makes sense
Yeah.
that it looks so real because it was basically real. I mean, it was scripted, but it was real. And it's y'all did a really good job at that.
And that's why I say people love. I mean, a lot of people who understand practical effects, they really appreciate this film because because CGI is terrible. I hate it. I
Yeah.
mean, I see all the time big movies with CGI blood. I know right away. I'm like, that's CGI blood. I mean, that is fake.
Yeah.
It's not at the point where it looks real unless you have a huge budget. Like, I remember watching a mainstream movie recently, and I like the movie Rainfield. Did you guys see Rainfield?
No, I've never seen
I have
Rainfield.
not, no.
Can't
Okay,
say I have.
Nicolas Cage plays Dracula, and it's great. Okay, it's great, but I could not disconnect from the CGI blood in your face all the time, and it annoyed me so much. I just didn't care for the movie. Um, the horror community understands that, and the people who are into practical effects, they it's just like you have this community who just goes like, oh my god, it's practical effects. Going back to John Carpenter, like The Thing. You had to build the creatures, you had to really really squirt blood. I mean, it does look so much better.
It
and uh
does.
and honestly, I feel like it's worth the effort and the money that goes into it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're investing in your future every time you make these films, so you keep making
Yeah,
good stuff like that long term. I mean, you can cut corners with CGI, but it'll cost
yeah,
you more money and it might actually
yeah.
sacrifice the value of the product for sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you one instance we had to use CGI, and that's interesting. So this was we never used full CGI, but this was because time screwed with us.
Yeah.
There's a scene where somebody gets shot, and in the living room, and there's a wall behind where the blood splatters on the wall. So the plan was we're going to use a squib, which a squib is a device where it explodes and it shoots blood. It's a practical effect. It's the best way to do gunshots. You can do that in post, but we decided to do the real thing. Okay, so we fit the actor with. Okay, the plan was to fit the actor with two squibs, front on the chest and in the back, and then somebody presses a button, it explodes both ways. So basically, okay, it's the entry point of the bullet and the back point of the bullet. We have blood squirting behind him. Well, what I told you before is that we never have enough time. So in that scene specifically, we were able to fit in the front squib, and then we realized we had no time to put on the back squib.
Wow.
So it wasn't our intention to have CGI. I actually hated it, but I was just like, okay, we only have so much time to shoot the scene until we have to move on. So it was a decision. I was like, all right, I guess we'll do the front squib so that the front where you see him is real. It's real on-set practical effect. The back splatter on the wall is CGI.
Dang. Well, it looks great all
I
the way around. Even the CGI part looks fine. Things because I'm trying to remember that
I
scene.
got
It looks good on there.
a
Eh,
couple more questions for you since we are running a little bit
Oh,
low
sure.
on time.
Just
Yeah,
ask me.
we got
Yes,
about four.
I talk a lot.
We got about 4 minutes and 8 seconds left till timer goes out. So we'll do some rapid fire questions.
All right, sounds good.
So, my first question also goes to the end. So it's, did you know that it was going to be the daughter that was going to be standing from the beginning? Because that kind of like subverted my expectations just a little bit. Because I really thought, I guess myself and I guess everybody included thought it was going to be mother.
Yes, I like I said, this was all written in advance. I had the whole script. Nothing was really improvised. Okay, we the one thing that changed was at the party scene. We were gonna have the brother and goth girl there, but what happened is one of them got COVID, so we had to write them out of that scene. But besides that, the whole movie is exactly how it was on the screenplay.
And my final question is, there was one scene that I kind of noticed where like I believe it was the one outside where the husband and the wife are visiting the therapist. I guess it was outside their house, and I noticed that the husband kind of still had like 10 fingers left, and he even said like, "Oh, I only have like 9 fingers left." I don't know if you noticed that or.
Oh, trust me, there are some continuity problems. Welcome to low budget, guys.
Yeah, we know about
Welcome
that.
to low budget. Here's the thing. I can count so many, like discontinuity problems or things that we couldn't fix, and all I say is, it's like an Easter egg hunt. Like let's find the boom reflection. Trust me, you can find boom reflections. You can find a microphone in somebody's back, and at this point, we just laugh about it. It's just like, well, welcome to low budget filmmaking, guys, and have fun with all the problems.
Amen to that. And then my last question for this interview is just something that I think is very important. I want to always have directors talk and filmmakers talk about. How did you go about promoting this film, and how did you do that every day going on? Because it's a struggle to promote these films for sure. And I like the way your style is so far with
Yeah.
it. So I want to know how you did that.
Absolutely. So to make it very short, is for the first 6 months we had a distributor promote it. So he hired a PR person. They reached out to social media outlets and websites, Pop Horror, a lot of like websites. So basically, what happens is a distributor will do that for a while because they want the movie to do well. Because obviously we're sharing, profit of the movie. So they invested in that. Well, after about 6 months, the filmmaker is on their own. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. So I started a TikTok account because one of the clips of the movie went viral. It's awesome. I mean, you can. It's the one where the husband talks about swallowing the finger and pooping the next day. Anyways, yeah, it went viral, man. If you go on TikTok, it's the first clip I retweeted. It's right there. I mean, reposted.
Well, I
It's right
saw you
there.
had some big reviews too, so you did a good job
Oh
getting
yeah,
reviews. Yeah, you had really big reviews
we
from
got
very
we
known
got
people.
about we got about 130 video reviews on TikTok from a lot of influencers. So yeah, it's just me. As the filmmaker, now that the movie's been out for over a year, it's my job. I feel like I don't mind talking to people about it. And when I'll tell you one thing also, if you guys can write us a little review on Letterboxd, and anybody who listens to the movie, the platform Letterboxd is really helping us. It allowed an audience to find out about a Halloween feast, and it's still happening. We're still getting some reviews there. So I'm always telling people, if you watch the film, go on Letterboxd, write a little review. It's easy. It could be even a small thing. Give us a rating. Give us an honest review. I never ask for anything but honesty.